right, so we're gonna dive into the project file for All of My Heart. You can find it on Spotify and all the platforms. It's an older project. Some of the plugins don't work on this computer. Here is the extremely loud version. So that's on Spotify. And then what we're going to be looking at today sounds a little different, but pretty much the same. All right, so let's get into it. And this time I'm going to also turn off the sidechain for when I go through the drop layers, which I might start there this time. So let's just go through the drop. I'm going to turn it on solo right now. You can see that it's sidechaining to the impulse, which is up here. That's the ghost track, right, in the drums. Let's go through the master chain though, actually. First and foremost, see what is going on with the master. So basically, let me turn the whole master chain off. And then with the master chain on. So I don't have Ozone 8 anymore. I used to. That was doing just some tape on the high end, adding about a little bit there. I didn't use the OTT. I was going to, didn't end up doing it. So stuff I'm actually using with the yellow is on Fab Filter, taming the lows, another Fab Filter, taming some lows and low mids. We have another Fab Filter Pro MB, taming again another area, kind of just to taste over time, because in my experience, just making the mix, coming back to a mix over and over and over makes the mix. And you kind of ultimately just keep stacking, or at least I do, on top of what I've already done. So, and maybe I, during the process, would have pushed something up that's like the kick or something, and it sounds really good, but it's a little too much. And then I turn it down, it doesn't feel good. I want it to like attack all of the compression or whatever is going on in the group series. So I'll just tame it at the end on the master. So then we have the basic 4-band punch, and that's at 53%. Important to note that. All of these should be at 100%. Yeah. Okay. After that, I go into an L2, and true peak limiting is on, just pushing that up 6 dB. Then I did put an ozone imager on. All I did was take the low band down on that, so it's mono. And then the brick wall limiter from T-Rax, I put it on clip style and then boosted it obviously quite a bit, because as you could tell, the mix is super, super low without it. So, and the attack time's really low on this, and the release times, wherever that is, kind of fast. But usually to get louder, I would probably put this up a little bit, and let those transients through. Let's see. But I wanted this to be more like just your kind of run-of-the-mill EDM, future bass, electronic, whatever you want to call it, these days, melodic bass, where it's kind of tighter, a little bit more just like condensed and in your face, not necessarily much of like a hip-hop mix with that like low sub, just like booming. The sub's there and it's like controlled right in the middle, and the drums are very sharp. So yeah, faster attack time achieves that. And yeah, 8 dB pushing that up. But again, remember, without this entire, like without that on, it's this loud. We're at like 10 lufs. So you put that on. Now we're up to like 3 or 4, which is aggressive, but that's what this genre likes. So, all right, we'll do drums after we do the drop. We're gonna do the drop first. I'm gonna turn off the side chain so that you can actually hear everything. We're gonna go top down. So the drop has a little bit of effects, you know, especially, or just right here. That's the only thing being modulated, automated, sorry. Pro MB, just taming some stuff. I'm really into just like taming a bunch of stuff through Pro MB and Pro Q. Again, more of that, more of the same. And if I solo it, you can just listen to the whole arrangement. Glue, I guess I don't have the glue anymore. I don't know why, I used to. Compressors for side chaining, and that's it. And those are off at the moment so that you don't hear it just like wobbly. I guess really quickly we could try turning off the fab filter, see what that actually did. Yeah, it's just a little too aggressive. Just tightened it up a little bit to actually fit basically the drums in. So back to the drop. All right. So all of that is that, and then we have a little bit more automation going on where you have basically the first hit cut out. Right? And that's for just the synths. The tonal effects are still being able to get let through into this group. So this group, if things were labeled correctly, would be like, I don't know, synths. So let's break down the synths. Obviously, we have the automation, then we have another group down here, and that is some EQ. Pro MB didn't end up using, playing around with different stuff, just trying to get things to fit right, probably, and then an MB doing same old. I guess tried side chaining at that point, realized later on we needed to side chain. All right, nothing crazy going on there. Now we have the actual chord stack. Right, this chord stack that I'm going to color right now, pink, is what we're looking at. And let's dive in. And a cool trick, because I know chords are a big deal, let's actually just get straight into the chords. What I'll do, and hopefully this works, let's unfreeze the track, see if this still plays. All right, cool. I like to grab the MIDI effects, and I think it's MIDI monitor. Yeah. So it kind of tells you what chords you're actually playing. And I think that's really helpful in the middle of a production, especially if you don't know exactly where you are, you're working on multiple different projects, and you're kind of coming back to touch a few things up. Sometimes it's kind of hard to remember what your chords are, and you can use your ear, but like, I don't know, sometimes I just like to use MIDI monitor. So yeah, let's look at this. D flat major. Does that check out? Yes, D flat. And then you got your, to count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's your fifth, right? Okay, now that's your root again. So we have root, we have fifth, we have root, and then here's your third, which is a major third, so it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you got another octave at top. So yeah, that's just a simple major chord. Now this one, F minor, let's make sure that checks out. Boom, there's your F, there's your octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's your fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your, sorry, that's your octave again. And then your 1, 2, 3, your third is a minor, so it only goes up 3 instead of 4. Let's see what else we got. So that's really just A sharp rocking all over the place. Let's see. This is where sometimes the monitor doesn't really pay too much attention. So we got 1, 2, 3. That's a minor. So there's your A flat or A sharp minor. And then what else do we got? You got your root again, and then your 1, 2, 3, your minor. So this is really A sharp minor. It just doesn't recognize thirds without a fifth sometimes, I guess. And then your G flat major is, let's just double check that, octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's your, what is that? I guess the octave again, octave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 major. So you have your F sharp major, G flat major, same thing. Okay, G flat, F sharp, y'all know. So yeah, there's no suspended chords. There's no sevenths. I mean, you can consider some of these ninths and 13ths, but those are really just octaves up of your third. Or I guess not nines and 13ths. Maybe it's 11. I don't know all that perfectly. I just coast when I need to. But anyways, there's the chord progression. It's probably the same with each of these layers. Yeah, maybe an octave down, an octave back up. Cool. So layer 1, serum, and the chords are takeaway from, I believe this is a, oh man, this is the pack from ADSR Sounds, I think. You really can just, any saw chord, as long as the arrangement's correct, will work. But basically, okay, hear this. Then. Alright, so that one's more bright with white noise. That one's a little bit more just janky, I would call it. Kind of that janky one, but with a little bit more aggression. And I think that was routed outside of this initial, let's see. No, it's inside the chords. It's just not inside this little group right here that has some EQ. I don't know. Maybe that was, I don't know if that's a mistake or if that's on purpose. Sometimes though, I will take a layer out of the compressed group or the dense group that's holding all the content, and just maybe it has compressors or EQ or just like so much is going on, it's clipping that bus or that group, and I'll just take another version of it that's a little cleaner and take it outside of that so it has a little bit more push, and now it's just running in parallel. And yeah, so that's the chords. I mean, literally done with chords. Okay, so now let's go to the bass. So we have a low bass. And then I think the chords should be, I don't even know why they're all like this, but whatever. There you go. F, A, F sharp. Does that check out? always want to make sure I'm not doing anything weird with slash chords. Something F sharp, perfect. Usually slash chords are a big no in this genre. Just keep it to your majors and minors, and you really should be set. Unless you're doing a little bit more future bass rather than, like, I call this more melodic bass. I don't know why, but the future bass I feel like has bigger chords of like sevenths and like ninths and stuff, and like these are a little bit more just major minor. Kind of pop future bass, I would say. I don't know, whatever. All right, what is the sub 808 simple but huge by Helix, ESW? You know, if I'll use presets and stuff for sure. If it's a basic song like this, and I'm not trying to design anything from scratch, or sometimes I'll design it from scratch if I'm really in the mood. It just kind of depends. Little bump in EQ, whatever. Let's see what we got here. So let's color this so we know what we're actually looking at. There we go. MSED, just some mid-side control right there, pushing the mids up a little bit. Some light EQ work. This bass is literally the chords take away from the oh, it's sticks. I'm sorry, it's a sticks pack, not ESW or ADSR. Pretty a lot of people know about that. Camel Crusher, didn't end up using it. EQ8, Haas effect. Love using the Haas effect. That just basically takes it wider, so. Does a little something there. All right, now the guitar bass. Oh, and this is where we're going to run into issues. All right, because Contact doesn't play anymore. All right, so I don't know. I mean, I'll just really quickly throw down a new Contact. Let's see. Contact, if I could spell correctly. And it's probably something native that's like Guitar Mint or Sunburst. It's possible I could have used Shredder by who is it that does that one? It's a cool one, so stick with me here. I'm going to tell you about it. Shreddage 3 Jupiter. Sometimes I use this, not so much anymore because it tends to not really like, it tends to crash a lot, but I think it's Contact that was crashing a lot. Whatever. Let's go with, I'm more used to Sunburst, so let's just use Sunburst. God, I feel like I hate their layout now. It's just so not it. All right, here we go. What's this gonna sound like? Oh yeah, so now I have to, it's too low. So in order to make this work, so maybe it wasn't this this exact guitar synth Roppler or whatever. So I mean, yeah, you can use basically anything. Like I could go even like more high gain. Starting to get really resonant up there though. You go muted. And the idea is just to put some layers in, right? That's basically what music is. And for right now, we'll just, I'll use the MIDI pitcher or whatever to make that a part that we're actually going to listen to throughout this. So imagine just two more of those, whatever they are. It doesn't really, at the end of it's so funny. All of this is so important as you're making it. And then like at the end of the day, even without these on, listen to this. although something's off, but it's that. It's literally that guitar, so let me turn that off. And then here's the track. Oh, you know what's off is the sidechain. Sorry. Let's put that sidechain back on, and then now it'll be a drop. So turning this one guitar layer on and off, like, I mean, again, it's nothing. It's on, off. When you put 3 of those in there, it might make it more dense and more epic, and that's what I had on this. And you can hear, you know, it was well thought out before released. Now it's kind of like, who gives a shit? Let's just show you guys what happened. So, all right. Anyways, these are just fifths, you know, or yeah, the power chords, and then like some bass layers, you know, probably some crunchy bass and stuff. This, let's just say that was the Sunburst that I used. All the blink things, maybe play around with a little bit of the treble and mid. We got some OTT, we got the Haas effect, and that's probably just rinsing through each one of these. Okay, so this is Billy Modern Sharp. OTT wasn't used, kind of scooped everything. But I don't have the source contact because that contact library is gone for whatever reason. And then one more. So that's it for the mid bass, basically. So you got your low bass, you got your mid bass. Cool. So we can go ahead, and I'm actually going to turn off this guitar right now, because I'll just leave it on. Who cares? I don't know. Just, this stuff does get confusing after a while. But all right, main vocals. So here's some vocals. Manipulator up 12 with British clean on. So up 12 with British clean on. I don't have Valhalla. X64 isn't working. The RVS2 isn't working right now. I guess I tried to redo it at one point, or there's the reverb, doing reverb stuff. Looks like there's some automation to kind of help with stops and goes, and kind of like give it a little bit more bounce. So that kind of covers a little bit more rhythm, doing those volume automations on your main right here. And then let's see what this is all about. Vocal effect hard. I mean, it widens it a little bit. It's the M phaser. It's the Pro MB doing some scoops. Mog EQ taking some blah 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 over here up. That's all this stuff is just go by ear. Soothe, and then some EQ to really like fit it in its little pocket, because otherwise that's just too much. And it might be exciting to hear it really loud at first, but if it's good, you could turn it down, make it mix with everything else, and the whole arrangement's good, then the whole thing will feel dense and loud. Part of why I'm going over these again is to just like remind myself of new ways to look at things. So anyways, that is the main group of these vocal layers. Now the vocals themselves are literally, what is going on here? Let's see what, I think it's boom, boom, 4, 4. I'm trying to remember, like, what in the world? Let's see. Let's take this external out just really quickly to hear. Let's take this one external out just to hear what that is. Oh, so right. Or left, I mean. And then this one is on the right. But there's no processing of anything different, so I'm like, what in the world? Why? Let's see. I don't know. Maybe they were all tracked that way. I can't even remember. I think that's from a pack of some sort. But yeah, so if we go back, let's take all this instead of external out. Let's take it back to main, or no, not main. We want to put it into the main vocals group right here. So let's see if that's playing right. Cool. And if we took off basically the manipulator. So let's go through the other manipulators. So this one is British Crunch with up 12. This one is up 12 with British Clean. This one is Guitar Rig, all the blink things, no Camel Crusher, but your EQ8. So, boom. I think you're kind of getting the point here, hopefully, that like just shoot, man, you just gotta go. Just go. Have your song organized into the point of like what you want to do kind of in your head, I guess, but like to make things work, just like, yeah, sometimes you're gonna need more than just one. These are all basically like like aux tracks. So this main one is duplicated 3 different times, or 2 different times. Yeah, 3 different times with different distortion. And one of them is not even pitched up. The other 2 are pitched up. And then you put reverb on, then you put phasers on and EQs, and just do more and more and more until it makes the sound that not only you want but fits into the record. So that's the vocals. So vocals chops for the drop, at least. We're still in the drop. Tonal effects. So this contact's still working. Let's find out what guitar is used for this one. Ah, that's what okay. The Rickenbacker bass. Interesting. Oh, but now it's like, I don't want to work anymore. So what does that mean? Ignore this time. Rainbow wheel. All right, so it's neck pure DI of the Rickenbacker. This thing's actually complete fire. You can dive into here and choose different cabs. You could use the compressor, like you could use the EQ, tape. Like there's so much, and there's so many different styles of all this setup and pickup levels. But like the Scarby Rickenbacker bass, I forgot that is a major thing to be using. So anyways, That goes into the guitar, big rig, big monster preset. I don't know, maybe I played with the treble and bass. Utility to just like turn it on and off, EQ it so it's nice. I guess I had Serum effects on here and it's not working anymore. Whatevs. Let's see what this is. Okay, little vocal shot, right? Then you got this, which isn't playing because I don't have ample guitar on this computer. So to hear what that is, because I'm curious, it does look like it's like a little counter melody or some sort of lead arpeggio. Let's just go ahead and we'll use the Rickenbacker contact. Why contact? There we go. And also, until I updated my computer last night, the Contact 8 was just continuously crashing. Almost any plugin would just crash the system. So I'm kind of testing that right now, and it seems to be doing pretty good. Which is also why leaning towards just a little plug of me building this huge sample pack, like kind of collab kit or whatever you want to call it, stems kit. The reason why is because I'm sick of opening up VSTs and stuff. And like I spent all my money the past 5 years on, VSTs and plugins and all this stuff. And then it's like, it's a nightmare to open it up and, especially after big updates and whatnot. So I'm trying to build a huge kit that like I could just use samples and use audio more often, but still with, instead of like other people's loops, not that I care, I love using other people's loops, but using my loops, the advantage there is that I know how I orchestrated them. I remember what chords I used, what extensions I used, and I'll even bust out the MIDI too and be able to go back to it real quickly. So, all right, kind of going off on tangents here, but I still believe that the tangents is what teaches you more than just watching what's going on here. As you can see, I don't care. Like, whether it's the Rickenbacker or it's something else, like, I'll figure it out. Honestly, that sounds really cool. I'm happy with that. So, in the mix... I mean, you can kind of hardly hear it. And again, the side chain, I think is... oh, it's on. I left it on. Okay, good. So, to hear that more, you just bump it up. All right, so that's really cool. And you can see that's outside of the tonal effects. So that's just a lead, that was added later. Let's go back to tonal effects though, because these I feel are really important. Right, and then you got this little guy. Just some little chugs. Looks like it's from Enema down, electric guitar loop, something like that. Don't have the Archetype Georgia on this computer. Haas effects. And Serum's not working anymore, so it's probably just the most dry little thing, and it probably used to have a really cool amp on it. So if I wanted to fix that up, I would probably just go straight to a guitar rig. And then maybe I would throw... Let's see... Rainbow wheels. See, I don't have time to wait for this. Like, I'm gonna have to switch to way more analog and pedal setups and stuff because, yeah, like that just is such a vibe killer to wait even that long to do something. Anyways, let's do all the blink things, see where that takes us. Nowhere. Let's just go to one of my faves. Oh, are my... Oh, that's why. I was like, where are my little presets? I only have a few, but I like them. Maybe it's something like that I used. Yeah, that sounds pretty good for now. Yeah, I'll turn that back on. We'll keep that. And then, you know, if I were re-releasing this, you know, off of this project file, I'd probably try a couple more and see if there's a better, or maybe EQ scoop some things. But that sounds pretty good. I can dive deeper and go maybe... just massaging until it's right. But anyways, a dun 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 dun, and as you can see, the start of the sound could be as simple as a DI guitar. Right? Boom. Don't be afraid to use live instruments. Little serum, gurgur, bop bop stuff. Just little stupid sounds to kind of like make it accent a little bit more. Like towards the end of this whole process is when you would add in those tonal effects and stuff. Sometimes I do try to add them in way too early, and it's a nightmare. So especially if I want to change the chords and I got to go in here and like change the pitch, like even this one like goes down one, and then this one up here like goes up one maybe because the chord changes or something like that. So anyways, think that's pretty much it. And then maybe here. Yeah, it's all basically the same. And then you try different things, and none of that worked over here. I tried keeping it along the whole time maybe, and it didn't work. Anyways, that all green here is the drop. We finished the drop. Oh my goodness, that was actually quite a lot. Let's go into, I mean, I guess we got effects, which as you can see just kind of like swells up because there's a volume keeping this whole entire pad thing off, which is a cool trick to kind of like towards the end put your whole chord progression of the song down into a like an omnisphere or something like that. This is, let's see if my omnisphere opens. Okay, boys choir. And then you kind of just like let it go, then kind of just ride up the fader when you need something to happen. So, right? Boom. And it just adds swell effects and stuff. Jack Antonoff, I think, or Dan Nigro, somebody mentioned that on Mix with the Masters. Maybe it was Phineas that like, oh no, it was Benny Blanco and Phineas. And they're like, towards the end, just like play in a million parts and mute them all. Then just like listen to the track. Whenever you feel you want something, automate the volume up and out again. So that's what's happening here. Some serum stuff over here. So that's still in the group that's kind of gated with the volume ramp up. And again, these things, it could be anything, you know, but this is an Arcondo sample pack pad chord thing. Maybe I tweaked it, maybe I didn't. Put the Haas effect on it. Pretty much just like trend on this track is, and quite a few of these EDM things is like Haas effect on every freaking synth. All right, let's see what else. Then like you got these kind of risers coming up towards the end of the drop. that's the same as this. So a little takeaway there. Yeah, sure, you can use the same riser all over the place as long as your melodic content, your whole song is there to deviate the listener from like, oh, all I hear is a riser. Well, then obviously if your riser is the number one thing going on, you might want to change it throughout. But if it's just like an enhancement of the actual track, a little less necessary. You got this riser, right? This. There we go. So there's basically the risers. You got some impacts going down. Right. You got this one. It's a crash. Right. You got this one. And like some of this stuff, like even looking back, like maybe I could have put that louder. But not really, because it punched out a little too much. So like it really just maybe should have been mixed a little differently if I wanted that to be more present. So there's effects. I blew through effects because like, I mean, honestly, here's the deal with effects. Spend a lot of time on them when you can, because like they will make your track just move better. But teaching how to do it is like, I mean, everybody does it differently. It could be as simple as throwing some samples down. You can go in and you can make your own risers, especially if you're in like tech house or something. I would be like, yeah, make your own risers in like Serum or something. But like for this, like the effects are just enhancing parts of the song. So done. Now we're on to the drums. I'm getting a little antsy, I'm not gonna lie. So let's see the drums on the main bus. Oh, let's go back and just see on the main bus of the what's it called? Synths. Not the synths, the effects. Nothing but sidechain. Okay. So also here's all the stems. I think I'd try to do like a mix down or something like that. I think I lost access to some plugins, as you can see, and I don't know. I think I tried that. I don't think I ended up releasing the one with the stem mix though. I strongly feel I didn't do that. I ended up just getting this main group of the record. The whole song is in here. There's nothing on the master, the actual master output, which you'll notice that from my other videos. Sometimes I will, but all the master is literally in this big old group. So, don't bother looking at the stems. Maybe this is a print. I think looks like the print might be from my Neve 5057 Orbit. Probably used blue silk on it. It's like a mode for there. So the drums, there was glue, not anymore, because all my plugins is like, hey, what's up, bro? All right, so here we go, kick. And this is a good time to kind of like showcase the fact that why I have this up here. You can hear me talking, and you could see as I'm talking, like I'm talking at a G sharp at 102 hertz. But look at the kick. It knocks around 100 hertz and then has that low frequency around the F, right? Down at 46 hertz. And then you can see how it has some crunch up top here. And that works for such a dense record. Okay. Now, used was the bottom half, or like the tail half of Big EDM Future Kicks 2. And that sounds like that. Then you got your kick punch. right? And then there's another kick in the verse.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me to where you are.
And what I might do is make a whole sample pack out of this record and sell it or release it for free or something to y'all. And then the impulse kick is just a quick kick top kick. Sounds like this if it'll play. So you can see it's very short. So when things are being sidechained to it, this is your sidechain ghost, right? Your ghost kick. It's just impulse. And impulse is the, I don't know, term. I don't know, whatever. I probably got it from like some template or some shit. Snare. Okay. So there's a little bit of EQ on this snare group, and like let's remember that we're dealing with some groups here, just like the kick was in a group, right? So the yellow is the snares. All right, so we got this, what does that say, lasagna? That little guy, you got this little cougar, right? And then you got this. And then you got the Fairlane, kind of like a drum loop that was cut up to do a swell. And then a pre-shifted snare with a little bit more kind of body in it right there, right? That's high, almost like a cymbal. That's low, like a snare. Right? And let's cover it right now. Let me go find it. So you got your kicks and your snares covered. Before we go to hi-hats, big thing was doing in some of these past releases was the sub drop on the one. Should be in here. Yep. So you could see how that goes down, and then when the whole track plays, and you could tell on the drop that the actual sub doesn't come in until, let's see if I could find the exact, I think it's right here actually, yeah, so. So if I now put this in, and I don't even know if this is hitting the first chord. The first chord, what was it? It was C sharp. So let's see. We'll see if we can figure that out real quick. E to E. So C sharp. Maybe that's the third though. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because is that minor? Hold on. Before I just start making up stuff. No, it's C sharp major. So technically, it should be one. It should be the third would be an F, not an E. So that's actually extra low in the wrong note. Unless, I don't know. That looks like it's an E. Looks like I made a big mistake. Oh no. Here we go. This is what it sounds like on F. Right. There's your F. Okay. let's put it back to E. I mean, it's kind of cool because it's lower, but that's just me catching my big mistake. Yeah, that sounds so much better. Damn. Let's do it with this one too. Yeah, because it was this. Jeez, if I just... So that it's good. That's good that this happened because I could always re-release the song, I think. Although Spotify be acting kind of a little funky sometimes when I do that. Let's put this up. Damn, this is just ratchet. That I was off by one note, and it's funny how much that affects the mix rather than necessarily the pitch of the song. You know, low sub frequencies like that are a little, how do I put it? Easily mistaken for what note you're on, and it's basically a sub, and it's a sub that's going down. So it's like you're also hitting a whole octave of other notes, right? Yeah, that's a whole octave. So my ear would trick me into thinking, oh, that's right, that's close. But then you get a little lazy sometimes. You don't double check things like that. And so basically what I'm trying to say is the mix is more mathematically correct musically. The more mathematically correct musically you are, the better the mix happens to just fall into place. Whereas I probably... Looks like I wasn't too bugged by it at the time, but like... If this were still down at the wrong note, which is E, to make it have that impact, I might go towards like an EQ boost or just something that's like unnecessary to make it louder. Let me see if I can do this. This is super important. So listen. That sounds weak. That sounds like I know it's what it's doing is boosting it, but it's clipping and it still sounds kind of weak, honestly. So listen again, even with this boost. Now let's just change it to the right damn note. It just feels a million times better. So I think it might be time for this one to get another mix, at least release it with the right note on the first part of the drop. It doesn't, it's, I don't know if it bugs me or not. We're really in it right now. It kind of adds a little bit of this like dissonance. And I'm not hearing dissonance, but I'm actually hearing distance. But the dissonance, I think, is creating the distance, which kind of makes it feel like it's in a room. Like, let's get super mathematical about it. You're at a festival, right? By the time that frequency wave hits you of a low oscillating sub that's going from an octave down to another octave, and it's that low, do you really know what note it is? / if it's tighter and further away, it makes it feel like a bigger festival. So that's where I'm saying it kind of gives it not a room, but field sound. They should make a reverb that actually is called field. That would be cool, and do impulse responses of like Ultra Miami and like Coachella and all these places with like an impulse response in a field, in the field that they play in. Make a reverb out of that. That'd be interesting. Anywho, yeah, it's a big mistake. Honestly, and I was like, damn, this mix is pretty good. I did a good job, and it's loud and it's tight and it does its thing, but it's like it is a little too tight due to the wrong note. Fucking fired. It's okay. Maybe we'll release the OBX version. I'm actually finding that I should probably do a tutorial on this stuff before I release the record and just go through it again like this, because it's just like I feel like I'm a whole new person jumping in when I'm explaining all the little parts to y'all. When you're in the middle of making a record, you just start throwing things in. You just do so much. I mean, look at this. This whole thing ultimately is like 1 down to 125, now 146, 174 tracks, basically, minus the stems. We don't need the stems. That's a lot of stuff to make sure every little thing is perfect, but bet your bottom dollar, in a lot of cases, that's what makes a great record, is making sure that every little spot is perfect. But then again, sometimes you have these really, really great records that will basically have mistakes in them like that, right? And here, I'll even show you one. It'll probably, might flag the video, but I'll show you 2 spots, and then you all can go listen. The Marshmello song, Friends. And I love Marshmello. I think he's insane. He's so good, and everybody involved with this record is just so amazing. But you can listen to this, and in the chorus, when the first measure goes through of the chord loop or the chords progression, maybe it does it twice, but halfway through the drop or the chorus, you can hear something just like got copied and pasted super weird, or maybe like clicked and there was a pop and a click. Something weird happened, and you hear this like kind of like weird edit. Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe I just not a fan of it or something. But like, I think it was just like an excitement of like, oh, this is where we're at. Let's just put it out. Like, it's so interesting. And I think I've also heard that on the Weeknd song. It's like one of his biggest ones, Blinding Lights. Towards the end of Blinding Lights, around here, I think it's either the bridge or the last chorus. There's a note in there of him singing that I feel is like not something I would have chosen. Again, I love The Weeknd, I love his producers, but like that was those are 2 things that lead me to think that maybe it's fine. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try to do a bounce at the end of this, see how it feels and stuff. We're missing a few contact plugins straight up though. Maybe that's for the better. Maybe I overdid it. Maybe it was overcooked. But yeah, anyways, let's get back into it. Need a little water break going through this stuff. I hope y'all enjoy this. Not gonna lie, it's pretty hard because I spend quite a bit of time showing this stuff and putting stuff out, and I don't market, and I don't play shows, and I don't really advertise well, so I don't feel like people are watching, but maybe they will at one point. I don't know, and all of this will be worth it. Anyways, back to the drums. Sad story. All right, hats. So they're just being side chained. Then you got this coming in. Nope, because the LFO tool doesn't work, as we all know at this point. Okay, so I don't even know what these LFO tools were doing, and it sounds like cannot save. Whatever. I'm mad at LFO tool. I bought it. It was the first plugin I ever got, and it's been a problem in the past 2 videos. Anyways, you got a little bit of. There's really nothing even happening there at all. 12, yeah, whatever. Okay. Guess there was some Valhalla on here, so maybe it's time to put that back. Since I might redo this record. Probably just something small. Let's see. Seems nice. I like it without the reverb. Focuses more on the synths and stuff, makes it feel more EDM. This, I guess, is off. I guess I tried doing rides in there, didn't like it. All right, moving on to the rim snare. Pretty self-explanatory. All right, so filtered, then opened it up. Left it open for verse 2. Where is verse 2? What is wrong? Why? Am I on the right thing? Well, I'm on the wrong thing. I guess that was just a one-time rim snare. My bad. All right, so these are cool. I want to go through and sample all this. Great little snares right there. I mean, I guess that technically I can't. I'd have to give it out for free. Oops. Because they're kind of other people's samples, but what is this? What are we doing here? And why isn't it playing? It's the LFO tool. Cool. Is let's see. Dude, I don't know. The LFO tool is just acting whack. cool stuff, some texture. So Sticks, Ashes, Pact is really just like some go-to stuff in Fairlane. Cool. So some Cashmere orchestra drums, some hat build. LFO tool. And then you got a snare build. Cashmere marching snare, and then that is it for the build. Cool. Pre-drop fill, side chained, stick. You got reverse guitar, little bum bum bam, Cashmere orchestra drums. Didn't use that. And didn't use that. Okay. Fill effects drums. I think we already went over most of this. Oh. So then you got the guitar. Let's C and F. And that's on top of what chord? F minor, so that works. Just double checking myself now. Jeez. The one thing I might want to change listening back to it is one of these layers. The glitch loop is actually pretty aggressive. But it's also very important that without it, it just sounded like the whole song changed. Listen. So something there needs to happen, but I think it needs to be a little more EQ'd. And try something like this, where I kind of just grab 3 at a time. I make it really, really tight, especially up here in the higher frequencies. And I'm just gonna like kind of pull these down. I might change, I gotta change this one though, to instead of that, I need it to be a Q. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and push that down again. And then, so yeah, all of these, and then now let's turn it off. On. Then maybe we'll play around with it. I'm gonna do it with the music on and move them frequency wise side to side till it just feels a little tamer and a little less like turn it off. Okay, so now intentional there. Yeah, and I actually turned it up in certain frequencies, but like, let's try it again. I like that one. Let's try it at a couple different spots though. See, I like that better. Yeah. That thing. Let's just try getting aggressive. Obviously that doesn't sound good, but it looks really cool. It's kind of like a little dragon. I can kind of get behind that one. Maybe just a little bit less. Maybe dynamically push it up. Interesting. I used to hate that sound, and now it's making more sense and more purpose. I'm going to turn it off though and leave it how it was just on this fake out. Maybe even turn it off. Man, that is the bane of my existence. That sound and that stupid E note, which is the wrong note. It's the wrong note. F is the note. For the most important moment of the song, I did it wrong and I released it. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to do. All right. And we already went through a lot of that stuff. I don't know. I don't want to like kind of go too deep in all this, but we can go through each sound. Cool. Whoa, oversampled. Cool little sample packs from them. That wasn't used, that was off. But you get it, right? You put some glitchy things in. That's funny, I thought that was a sword sound for a minute, and it's actually just a glitch. Just seems a little weird. Let me try just turning down the mid of that one. I'm gonna try to re-release this as a OBS mix or something. Let's see. Feels better. All right. I feel confident that I might just try to let this one go. Oh, then there's some synths for like the builds and the verse. Peace. Bass. Let's see what this is about though. Also, I might as well do a save at this point. A little upset, honestly. I'm a little upset that I didn't. I don't know, this has just been a mess of a project, to be honest. It is what it is, though. I mean, it's like sometimes it's nice to like go in and just not care about your sound so much because you've done it so long ago and you're just like ready to move forward and be better than you once, were. So just in case miraculously the ample guitar turns back on, God forbid. Let's go with the Rickenbacker again, because like that seems to be some cool energy and vibes. Or is it the LFO tool that was probably both? I'm gonna leave that out. I don't think it needs to be in there. Let's try this one. I'm not worried about that. We're gonna leave that out. Let's see if we don't redo the pads and the strings, the difference. That's cool. I like that. That plucky thing. Oh, that's funny. I thought that was like a actual synth, like a Morgan Page kind of like wet pluck chords thing. It's actually just the guitar chugs, which is funny. The Morgan Page in my head, I was like, oh, that doesn't sound cool. But it's probably acting like that because there's all these different layers of like pads going on like this. Right. But then just the guitar. Anyways, do I want it? Do I not want it? Baby, I'm flying without a lifeline. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. Maybe I want it to start later. Baby, I'm flying without a lifeline. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. Cool, somewhere in the middle there. Baby, I'm flying without a lifeline. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. I go all in, it's all in for you. Honestly, could be a little cooler. Hold on. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. I go all in, it's all in for you. That'll be that. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't matter how, but I'll give you all of my heart. Oh, I don't wanna make safe no more. We can dance through danger, make it up. Maybe I'll fly without a lifeline. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. Maybe I'll fly without a lifeline. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. I'm gonna leave it in for the second half, the guitars. So there's something I remember here. I follow stars. What is that stupid pop? I follow stars. It ain't there. It ain't there. Vocals. I follow stars, hoping they lead. It ain't there. I follow stars, hoping they. It ain't there. Is it in the drums? Or maybe it's in the synths. Nope. I follow stars. What is that? And it's not the drums, of course. Oh, it is the drums. Hold up. Where is that? Excuse me. The snare. Oh my God, I found it. I was looking for this forever last time. Oh, and I already can't find it again. There it is. That's so funny. It's this little flipper napper. Ew, go away. Nobody wants you around, bruh. Is that freaking anywhere else? Oh my god, I just want to quit this for a career, man. It's too much. It's too much to make 178 tracks perfect. Perfect while you're still hustling to actually make money producing for other people because you never decided to travel the world and tour. Let's just dive into it. The two probably biggest, I don't know if I want to call them mistakes yet, but because it'll all work out at the end. As I'm becoming a better and better producer, that's what I really want to do. I don't really want to tour and DJ, but could have probably learned a lot quicker. Could have probably made a lot more friends, gotten more famous, got more money to do cooler stuff if I toured. And if I also grew up doing more music, not just in a friend's garage trying to be in a rock band, but like in church, honestly. Church musicians know what they're doing. Anyways, I think we're ready to give this a bounce.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. I follow stars. I follow stars, hoping they, hoping they. I follow stars, 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 hoping. I follow stars, hoping they lead me away. I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping that.
Can't really change anything about that one.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't have a lot. I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't have a lot, but I'll get. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are.
Now it's just gonna bug me. I really hate doing this, even though every time I do it, it does sound a little bit better. Let's save real quick, and let's throw on, just for a quick second. There's the save. Also is this. Really struggling. I'm getting hungry. The fuck is this? And is that on or is it off? Look at that tiny little mistake. And it's a whole ass thing. And it's on. Anyways, the more sloppy you go, the harder it is to finish a good song correctly. I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep, cannot think tonight. I don't even know if those are the words, cause isotope. Let's just see. I'll just do it really quickly. This little declicker. Declick.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me. I follow stars, hoping they.
Can't get rid of it. I just can't get rid of that stupid pop in the vocal.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you.
Unless that's not it.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't have a lot.
There's nothing automated, is there? Because it could be also that. Hold on. No, it's not Endless Smile. Whatever. You know, some things you do just gotta let go. Like, will
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. No matter what.
unless I can add something.
I follow stars, hoping. I follow stars, hoping.
Not that.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are.
Dude, I really don't know how to fix that.
I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where. I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. No matter what, I'll give you all of my heart. Oh, I don't wanna play it safe no more. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. No matter what, I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. No matter what, I'll give you all of my heart. Oh.
Starting to now hear how different the mix is gonna end up turning out, but you know what? It's okay. The vocal mix was never like the coolest thing about this track anyways.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. No matter what. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you.
I don't know, this is crazy, but it sounded better when that was off, even though there's nothing happening there, but whatever.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. No matter what.
I hear another little click thing there, and I'm wondering if it's also just because I'm like not streaming on OBS, but no, it's probably a click. It's probably that same stupid one. It is, isn't it? Take that out. Just freaking delete it. Stupid. So I'm gonna scan through this real quick because it even happens again here. I can see why maybe I kept it in as just like a little vibe. All right, it works there. It, like these little snap clips. It doesn't work there though. I'll take that one out. Goodbye. Cool. Yeah, I think I just rushed through releasing this because I was super excited, and it's probably the worst thing I am at
I follow stars, hoping they lead me.
See, I did turn that off.
I follow stars. I follow stars, hoping they lead me where.
It's interesting how much something like this, though, can really help the snare. You just hear it, the snare pop better. Without it. Just adds a little like weight to the snare, which makes sense because if you listen to it, it goes pretty low. Something by accident that ended up cool.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are.
I really just wish I can get rid of that stinking thing, and I'm gonna give it one more shot because now I'm like in the mood. Then I'll go eat food. Come on, man. Let's go. Is it mouth declick that I sometimes use? Getting a headache.
I follow stars, hoping they. I follow stars, hoping.
Yeah, sometimes I gotta go wide with it.
I follow stars, hoping they.
Sensitivity up.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but don't gotta lie, but
Let's try this, just right there.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but I'll give you all of my heart. Oh, I don't wanna play it safe. I follow stars, hoping they.
We'll do it again there because shitty vocals.
I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but I'll give you all of my heart. Don't gotta lie, but I'll give you all of my heart. Oh, I don't wanna play it safe no more. Oh, I don't wanna play it safe no more. Don't gotta lie, but I'll give you all of my heart. Don't gotta lie, I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but I'll give you all of my heart. Oh, I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but I follow stars, hoping they lead me where you are. Don't gotta lie, but I'll give you all of my heart. We can dance to danger, make it up. We can dance to danger, make it up. Baby, I'll climb without a lifeline. Baby, I'll climb without a lifeline. Baby, I'll climb without a. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. Oh, oh, oh. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. Oh,
Another stupid click.
mine. Oh,
So stupid. Stop clicking.
mine.
Oh my god.
Mine. Oh, oh. Rolling the dice to make you all mine. Oh, oh. I go all in, risk all in for you. Promise you'll find it, I'll dive in.
Now you're just stuck here with me, and yeah, you're stuck here with me until I finish this. Unless you leave, I guess you can leave, because at the end of the day, you can leave. And I'm getting phone calls now. Oh yeah, because I gotta make dinner. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Why is this? Because of the LFO tool. So stupid. So annoying. We'll just do it old school with the thing, and I'm such a bad person. I'm not making the dinner that I should be making right now. So hold on. All right, I'm done. And there's your tutorial that turned into a live stream in the making of the next release of this song, because this stuff is so hard to get right. Takes revisiting it over and over and over again, for me at least. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have enough time to dedicate to one genre. Like Elenium and all these people like do their one thing. I do so many different things. I'm such a writer and general producer at heart, that like doing all this like make it so perfect. It's just like, bro, like, have you been to a concert? There's pops and clicks everywhere. Anyways,